Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Ancient Warrior. Welcome back to Prepping in Free America. If you like what you hear here, hit a thumbs up. And if you want to be the first on your block to know what I'm talking about, hit the subscribe button and then a bell icon. I guess you got by the thumbnail which way my thinking's going today. Guys, gals, ladies, gents, whatever you want to be called. He, them, it, I, O, yo, whatever. I bet you didn't hear about it. I'll bet you didn't hear about what happened Tuesday, the 29th of December. Yeah. Guys and gals, let me tell you something. If you're listening to the mainstream media to get your knowledge, you're wasting your time. Because the mainstream media has decided that unless they're beating up on Trump for something, or they're beating up on Christians for something, or they're beating up on conservatives for something, a little hot coffee, then it's not worth broadcasting. So what am I talking about? Tuesday, 2:36 p.m. Mountain Time, the city of Aspen declared a situation of an emergency. I wouldn't have known anything about it either. I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't have, because I don't, I look at several different things, but I'm staying more to Breitbart and to True News and stuff like that. Heck, I didn't even see CEO Dave Hodges do anything, and I'm sure he did. I just didn't see it. Well, as I told you on Tuesday afternoon, guys, let's get there you go. A activist group, there we go, activist group called Earth First tampered with the natural gas supply lines into the city of Aspen, Colorado. Three problems here, folks, and I'm fixing to tell you what they are. Number one problem is they were able to do it and nobody knew they did it. The fact that they, the second problem is the fact they did it. And the third problem is that the media, the national media, CBS, NBC, ABC, none of them, as far as I know. Now, I could be wrong, and I'm pretty good at being right, wrong. Here I am dancing in the... But I'm going to tell you something, folks. I didn't see anything locally about it. Not in that fish wrap paper that we get here. That's all that that paper is good for, is wrapping fish parts up in to throw in the dumpster. Guys, they turned the heat off, turned the gas off to approximately 3,500 houses, homes and businesses. I bet there were a couple of nursing homes involved. I bet of those 3,500 there were small children involved. Ladies and gentlemen, we've allowed the media too much latitude, and here's what I'm talking about. On a regular basis, they say activists did this, activists did that. Mostly peaceful protesters did this. Ladies and gentlemen, they're domestic terrorists. I don't care if you're sitting there, you're driving a spike in a tree up in Oregon or Washington State or Montana to stop the chainsaws from logging. I've heard of more than one story where a spike was driven in, a logger and ended up losing an appendage, an arm or a leg or a life. Most important appendage, a life. And nobody's held accountable. They say, well, they're activists. We're going to discuss activism in a future video. I'm going to show you who were true activists compared to these domestic terrorists. Folks, get away from the mainstream media. They're not your friend. Matter of fact, they do more to harm us than they're doing to help us. That fourth estate that we used to have during World War II is gone. The men and women who had such great honor are gone. I talked to one. I was in Vegas 3 years ago. And I talked to one news personality from CBS, and I'm not going to give her name, but after listening to her talk for 10 minutes, I had a headache because I'd never heard so much stupidity in one place. You see, folks, they don't care. They don't care about what's going on as long as they break a story. And they can trot around those newsrooms and say, I broke this story. It was a big one. It was on everybody's lips for X amount of days. Well, now X amount of hours. Folks, get away from the mainstream media. Start making preps. I've asked some questions around here. I happen to know one of the guys that works for our gas company here. He was aware of the attack, but he wasn't aware of how much damage. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, remember, it's better to have and not need than need and not have. We're going to be talking about cold weather prepping, just in case somebody, another terrorist attack. We're going to start talking about things that you can do to keep things better for you and your family. So with that being said, I'm the Ancient Warrior. Have a blessed day. Have a good 2021. And pray for your neighbors, folks. And pray for your city, state, county. And remember, it's better to have and not need than need and not have. I'm the Ancient Warrior.